do some foiling, all right? Now, do not be afraid, okay? You guys can do this. Can someone try and do the first part of the, oh, you got it? Just go ahead, please.
Is that like incomplete square form?
Difference of squares form, and that's exactly what it is. It is a difference of square form. I'm going to show you why it works, okay? So what I'm going to do, Colin, go ahead. Yeah, okay. So 2 times 2, excuse me, equals 4. What does this equal there? Colin, keep going.
It's just 2
Yeah.
square root of x plus 1.
Right on. Think of it just like a coefficient, right? Like you're just plus 2 of that. Now, what is this? Hey, Brian, go ahead. -2. Okay, now here's the magic part. What is negative root of x plus 1 times positive root of x plus 1 equals? Go ahead.
X plus 1, but like a negative.
Negative bracket x plus 1. Now I'm going to slow down and take a step backwards to make sure this is good. Right, that's just a straight line. Now don't be afraid. Okay, I know it looks weird. Okay, but let's pretend that was 2 minus x and 2 plus x. Right? It's like 2 times x is, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same rules that we use, except for there's messy square roots. They're just numbers. Yeah.
So would you, the 2 and the coefficients, would those just cancel?
Yeah, like plus 2 and negative 2, right? So these are going to actually cancel right here. So it's going to turn into 4 minus x minus 1, so 2 makes 2 minus x. Now, if that isn't cool, I don't know what is. I believe that's the same as 3 minus x. That's neat. Okay, I'm a math teacher, right? So I think it's neat. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we will be using this fact, right? The fact that we're trying to prove here, trying to learn here, is that if you have a square root, you can multiply it by something to get rid of the square root. That's what we did here, okay? So I took this and multiplied the same thing with the plus like difference of squares to get rid of the square root, right? And that's the keeping to use that skill in this next chapter. Okay, on the right-hand side, this is a skill you should have mastered in grade 10, okay? It says find the exact value. Can someone think back to last year and tell me what the exact value means? Sorry, you two are out today. You're out. Somebody else here. You guys, sorry, I can't do that. Go ahead. Special triangles would have that. We've got no trick here yet, okay? So we're not going to have, but yes, definitely when we get to the special triangles, we'll totally be talking about exact value too. For this question, there's a quadratic. What is exact value going to mean? Go ahead. Yeah, roots, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do, there will be quadratic formula going on here, hopefully, okay? And what I want is I want your answer to be something like 3 plus or minus the root of 15 over 8, or whatever the number happens to be, okay? So I don't want you to work it out. So, Jesse, you're going to recite from memory the quadratic formula, please. Go. Good? Yeah? Stop there. Okay, I didn't mean to sing it up. Go ahead.
Square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
All right. Now, for anyone in this class who maybe forgot that over the summer, that's okay. But you guys stick it back in your brain for the rest of this course, okay? All right, Dexter, can you please tell me what A, what B, and what C is here, please?
A is 2.
Yeah.
B is
Yeah. Great. Okay, there's A, there's B, there's C, like that. And someone with another great deal of self-confidence, let the numbers in, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's 4
Yeah.
plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared
Yeah.
minus 4 times 2 times negative 5 all over 2.
Excellent. Okay. Now, one thing I noticed that he did there correctly was this is negative b, right? So b was negative 4, negative times a negative flips the signs. Okay, who wants to be a human calculator right now? Oh, I'm the only human calculator in this class. Yeah, Fox and Goat. Sorry, you guys are snubbed.
what am I calculating?
Okay, negative 4 squared is?
Oh, plus minus the square root of 16 minus 30, 40.
like Foxton a great deal, even his joke telling. But there's one thing that accidentally went wrong on this question. Go ahead. Why does it go to positive 40? Right on, like negative, 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 right? Now, if you are sitting in the back corner, stress better with this question. I'm going to show you the key step that you learned in advance or in last year in 3U and you have forgotten over the summer. If you were to give me this as an answer, I would say, I'm sorry, that is incorrect, okay, because it is not simplified completely. Can someone be brave and tell me how to do something with that 56? Go ahead. Take the things out. I think what you mean is to take out perfect squares, I think is what you meant, okay? So, we have to find something that 56 will divide by. Now, 8 and 7 is 56. And I know you guys are all pros of times tables, so 8 times 7, got it. Why does 8 and 7 not help me in this context? Yeah, 8 and 7, neither of them are perfect squares. So what's a perfect square that will divide by 56? 4 will work out nicely, okay? So I'm going to say x equals 4 plus or minus, and I don't know if Mr. Walter did it the same way. Mr. Walter did do this last year though, right? Okay, so this isn't completely new. Okay, why did I do that? What does that turn into? Go ahead.
Square.
Good. Okay. If you left your question like this, you would still lose half a mark since your teacher is mean. What can I do now? There's still one final step to finish up. Go ahead. Divide everything by 2. Okay. So what you can write this as is, I'm going to write it like this. Right, because I'm just splitting the fraction apart. Right? Yeah. So technically that would be 1 plus root 14, 1 plus or minus root 14 over 2. So that's what equal. Okay, if you're scared of that, don't worry. We'll do more practice with simplifying square roots as the semester continues. Okay. If you wrote 2 plus or minus square root of 14 all over 2, that's still correct. I'll give you full credit for that too. Right? With the idea of the consequence of losing a 2 from the left and right. Please note the 14 is not touched because it's connected to the 2 coefficient on the outside. Does this look familiar to anyone from my class last year? It should. I'm sure you said last year I hate it, but yeah, we did it last year though. Okay, I'm going to go to my third warm-up. Okay, I'm going to take you through this one, and you guys do the next one by yourself. This will make some of you cry because we're going back to grade 4. Okay, do this. Now I know you grade 4 people, I'm sure, but you will forget this. Here we go.
I knew it. I knew it.
Now, if you don't remember this from elementary school, that's okay. I'm going to teach it to you right now. Now, you know what you're saying. I have a calculator. I can do that. The problem is we'll be doing this with variables, and you have to do it this way with variables. So if you had a teacher in grade 4 that said, I choose not to do this with you, because you're never going to need it in life, you have calculators, okay? You have to do this with x's. What's going to happen very soon? This equation is going to say x plus 8 divided by 3x squared, by 2x, and all that sort of stuff, okay? So I'm going to do it with numbers first. Okay. If you're feeling good about this, can you raise your hand only once and tell me what the first step is, please, into dividing this? Foxton, go ahead.
Take 8 out of 1300.
Yes. Not quite. Go ahead. Right. So what you're looking for, technically you're looking for 8 into 1 and nothing happens, okay? But then you're saying to yourself, how many times does 8 go into 13? If I was teaching you grade 4, I would say, well, I guess I wouldn't use times. Would I use times table? No. Okay. How many times does 8 go into 13? I'd say you do it once, right? Because 8 times 1 is 8 plus a little bit. So what you do then is you write your 8 right here. And you put a minus like that. Okay. Does this look familiar to anybody? Nobody did this in elementary school? You did, but you don't remember it? Okay, I'm going to make you understand it right now. Okay. 8 times 1 is 8, we're good with that? Okay, we're subtracting. Okay, so can someone be brave and tell me what 13 minus 8 is, please? 5, Foxton, good, okay. Okay, now this is the step that probably confused you when you were in grade 4. You got it, what do you do next?
Bring down the next zero.
Right, so what I'm going to do, I do X's and lines because that's the way I am. So now you're dealing with 50, okay? So that 5 changes into, instead of dealing with 1300s, then I'm dealing with 5 tens. What I'm going to do is the answer for this I'm going to put up here now. So you're thinking to yourself, how many times does 8 go into 50? Go ahead.
6.
Good, because 8 times 6 is 48. How do you know that you picked the wrong number? Let's say I did 5. How do I know that 5 would be wrong? Yeah. The other thing would be that your remainder would be bigger than this. Okay, right? Which you don't want. Okay. So I'm going to pick 8 times 6 is 48, which is good. You're going to do a subtract. That should be 2. Stay in the zone here because we're going to do this with variables very slick. I want you to play along here because even if you're a pro at this, okay, you're going to have to do this with variables next week. Okay, so, okay, what's the next step, please, for long division? Go ahead.
How many times 8 equals 8? Like, bring that 0.
Good.
How many times 8 equals 8?
How many times does 8 go into 20? Twice. So I'm going to do 162. So that's going to be 16. Now, please be brave if you don't know where these numbers are coming from. What happened there, I just said 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, so 20 minus 16 should be 4. Now, I was talking to Bailey about this today. Sorry, Bailey, I'm going to tell you a little faster conversation. She goes, that's the part where we say 0 remainder at the end and we're happy, right? Unfortunately, I used some decimals, so I wanted to be mean, okay? So I don't remember how decimals work for long division. One person remembers grade 4. 2 people. Go ahead. Yeah.
Put the decimal down, you bring another 0.
Good. So I'm going to put a little decimal here, and a decimal here, put another 0. I think my teacher must have been lines. Okay, so how many times does 8 go into 40? 5 times. And now we got our 0 remainder, so we're happy. Okay. So what we're going to say then, really, if I were to say then 1300 divided by 8 is equal to 162.5. Is this somewhere in people's subconscious deep? If it's not, we'll practice a few of these because this is the thing I need you to know for next week, okay? After that, we'll do instantaneous rate of change after this. Now, is that question or stretch? Okay. I want you guys to try one yourselves. I'll use another nice number like 7 or something. We'll get up to 243 when I'm doing one with it. Okay. Here we go. D. Use long division. This will be in our next chapter, and we're doing long division with variables, so I need you to know what to do with numbers. Now, here's the thing about these numbers. They're so nice and small. I'm assuming there's someone in this class. Let's call him Cole. Who looks at that right away and says, yeah, Mr. The answer is obviously equal to 32.428 or whatever the number happens to be. Okay, right? Even if that's the case, please play along, okay? Because we'll have to do long division in the last chapter, and I want to make sure these steps of what we're doing, we're just going to extend it to variables. All right, so I want to make sure that you can do it using this method, okay? So I know all your calculators, you can do it in half a second, all right? But you can't do that with X's in your calculator, so I need you to make sure you can do this. Well, you don't look confident, you can do this. The only person we lost is Tristan. Sorry, am I recording this? Tristan. Under power, Tristan. I said go to 2 decimal places, please, because there will be a remainder at the end for this one.